Sit down. Seriously, sit. I'm not saying this for dramatic effect. I'm saying it because what you're about to hear might hit you harder than you expect. If you're thinking, I'm fine, this doesn't apply to me, stop. You have less time than you think. And it's not because life is unfair. It's because you're walking straight into danger without realizing it. The worst part, you don't see it coming. Most people don't until it's too late. One day, something feels off. A little sluggish, a little more tired than usual. You shrug it off. A week later, you're struggling to do things that used to be easy. Your grip is weaker. Your balance feels just a little bit off. Still, no big deal, right? Fast forward a few months, you take a small fall, you laugh it off, but your body doesn't. You're not bouncing back like before. That's when it hits you. This isn't just getting older. This is something else. This is the beginning of the end. And before you brush this off, let's break down the hard truth. Warning sign #1. You think you're fine. No pain, no problem, right? Wrong. 80% of fatal diseases creep up without early symptoms. You don't feel them until they hit like a freight train. Let's talk about your heart. Have you checked your blood pressure lately? No? Then you might be a ticking time bomb. Your arteries could be hardening. Your heart working overtime. That shortness of breath, that random dizzy spell, those aren't just getting older moments. Those are red flags. Heart disease is the #1 killer for a reason. And if you're ignoring it, you're giving it full control over your future. Warning sign #2. Your weight is changing and you're clueless losing weight fast. Your body could be breaking down muscle and bone. Gaining weight without reason? You're fast-tracking yourself to metabolic disorders and heart disease. Your weight isn't just about looks. It's about stability, survival, and longevity. The wrong shifts in weight signal something bigger happening inside. Warning sign #3. Your hands are weak and you don't even notice squeeze something. Your coffee cup, a book. Feel solid or weaker than you expected? Because weak grip strength is a death sentence in disguise. Studies show it predicts early decline. Why? Because it's a sign your muscles are fading, your mobility is shrinking, and your independence is slipping away. And here's where it gets serious. Falling is one of the biggest killers for older adults. One stumble, one bad fall, and suddenly, life changes or ends. 1 in 3 people who break a hip never recover. Many don't make it past a year. If you think that weak hands are just an inconvenience, think again. Think this sounds extreme? It's just the beginning. You don't wake up one day and suddenly become old. It happens gradually, until one day you look in the mirror and don't recognize yourself. By then, the damage is already done. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be this way. You still have time to change the outcome. The question is, are you going to ignore the warning signs or do something about them? Because this is only the beginning. And if you think this was a tough wake-up call, wait until you hear what's coming next. Warning sign #4. Your brain is slowing down and you don't even notice. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you learned something new? No, not rewatching the same TV shows or scrolling through your phone. I mean actually challenging your brain. If your answer is, I don't remember, that's a red flag. Because here's the brutal truth. If you're not using your brain, you're losing it. Your memory isn't just getting worse with age. Your mind isn't just slowing down. It's atrophying, breaking down like an unused muscle. That's exactly how cognitive decline starts. And if you're thinking, nah, that won't happen to me, I hate to break it to you, but that's what everyone says. Ever been to a long-term care facility? Every single person there once thought the same thing. It's just a little forgetfulness. I'm just tired. Then one day, they forgot where they put their keys. The next, they forgot their own address. Fast forward a few years, they don't recognize their own family. Sounds extreme? It happens every single day. And the worst part? Once it starts, there's no turning back. Warning sign #5, you move less and it's killing you. Let's talk about movement. Be honest. How much do you actually move during the day? And no, shuffling to the fridge doesn't count. If your daily routine is couch, chair, bed, repeat, your body is deteriorating faster than you think. Your joints are getting stiffer, your bones are getting weaker, your muscles are literally disappearing. You might not feel it yet, but your body is quietly breaking down, and the moment it catches up to you, it's game over. Do you know what the #1 predictor of early mortality is for older adults? It's not what you think. It's not heart disease. It's not illness. It's falling. One bad fall. That's all it takes. Break a hip, and suddenly, everything changes. 30% of people who suffer a hip fracture don't make it past the next year. Think about that. A single step in the wrong direction, and you could lose everything. Your mobility, your independence, your entire way of life. And here's the scariest part. Nobody is coming to save you. Your kids? They have their own lives. Your friends? They're aging too. The government? Don't count on it. If you're not taking care of yourself, who will? That's not meant to scare you. It's reality. And the sooner you wake up to it, the better your chances of avoiding the fate that too many people realize too late. Because this is your warning, and you might not get another one. Warning sign #6. Your social circle is shrinking, and it's more dangerous than you think. Let's be honest. When was the last time you reached out to an old friend just to check in? Not because it was a holiday, not because they called you first, but because you actually wanted to talk. When was the last time you had a real, meaningful conversation with someone that didn't involve a screen? If you're struggling to answer, we've got a serious problem. Because here's the thing, loneliness isn't just sad, it's deadly. You might think you're just enjoying your space or that you've outgrown certain people. But the reality, social isolation is one of the biggest killers out there. Let's talk science for a second. Research shows that chronic loneliness increases your risk of early death as much as smoking a full pack of cigarettes every single day. Let that sink in. Your body reacts to loneliness the same way it reacts to physical damage. Stress hormones skyrocket. Inflammation spreads through your body. Your immune system weakens. Your risk for heart disease, cognitive decline, and even physical disability skyrockets. And the worst part? You don't even realize it's happening. First, you stop making plans as often. You tell yourself, hey, I'm just not in the mood today. Then, the phone calls become less frequent. Maybe you ignore a message or two because you'll respond later. A few months later, the invitations stop coming altogether. Fast forward a year, you look around and realize you don't really talk to anyone anymore, and here's where it gets terrifying. What happens when you have a health emergency and no one's around to notice? What if you slip, fall, or have a medical crisis, but no one checks in? Do you know how many people pass away alone simply because no one was there to call for help? Way too many. You might be thinking, come on, that won't happen to me. That's exactly what they thought too. The silent killer that no one talks about. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up one day and something feels off. Maybe it's dizziness. Maybe it's a weird pressure in your chest. You think, it'll pass. But what if it doesn't? What if this is the moment your body finally gives out and there's no one there to notice? What if you fall and can't get back up? What if you're stuck for hours, maybe even days, before someone realizes they haven't heard from you? Do you really want to be found like that? Because it happens all the time. And here's the real kicker. Loneliness doesn't just kill you physically, it destroys your mind too. When you don't talk to people regularly, when you stop engaging in meaningful conversations, your brain starts shutting down. Literally, your cognitive functions start to slow, your memory fades faster, your risk of developing dementia through the roof, and before you know it, you've gone from just a little lonely to completely isolated, physically weak, and mentally drained. It happens slowly, until one day you wake up and it's too late to turn back. The hard truth, no one is coming to save you. You might be thinking, well, my family will be there for me. Will they? Because here's the reality. Your kids have their own lives. They're busy. They've got jobs, families, responsibilities. They love you, sure, but they're not checking in every day. Your friends? They're aging too. And if they're on the same path as you, guess what? They're struggling just as much. The government? Forget it. There's no safety net waiting to catch you when you fall, literally or figuratively. So if you think someone's going to swoop in and fix this for you, think again. If you don't take control of your social life, your health, your future, no one else will. This isn't about just making friends. This is about survival. Human connection isn't optional. It's a lifeline. And if you've been cutting yourself off, whether intentionally or not, you're putting yourself on a fast track to an ending you don't want. So before you shrug this off, ask yourself one question. When was the last time someone truly checked on you? If the answer makes you uncomfortable, it's time to do something about it, because this is your wake-up call. And if you think this was hard to hear, what's coming next will hit even harder. Warning sign #7, the most dangerous lie. You tell yourself, I still have time. Be honest. When was the last time you had a full health checkup? When did you last sit down with a doctor and really go over your numbers, your heart, your blood pressure, your risk factors? When was the last time you made a real change in your lifestyle, not just for a week, but for good? If your answer is a long time ago or worse, never, then let me break it to you. You've been lying to yourself. And that lie, that false sense of security, that belief that you have plenty of time to fix things later, it's the most dangerous thing in your life right now, because time isn't on your side. You think you have more time than you do, until you don't. Here's the thing, your body doesn't wait for you to wake up and start caring. Your heart isn't holding off on damage until you're ready to take action. Your joints, your bones, your organs. They're keeping score, whether you like it or not. And one day, when you least expect it, your body is going to cash in that debt. You'll wake up in the middle of the night. Something feels off. A pressure in your chest. A tightness that wasn't there before. You try to sit up, but suddenly you're lightheaded. Your breath is short. You know something is wrong. You reach for your phone, but no one is there. Your mind races. Is this it? You were going to make changes. You were going to start eating better, exercising, checking in with your doctor. But you didn't. And now? Now it's too late. Because here's the truth. Most people don't get a second chance. This is your wake-up call. Are you listening? Look, I know this isn't easy to hear, but if you're reading this right now, you still have time to change the outcome. You don't have to be the person who waited too long. You don't have to be the one who left their health up to chance. But here's the catch. You have to act now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Because you're faced with two choices. 1. Keep waiting, keep making excuses, keep telling yourself you'll get to it later. 2. Wake up, take control, and fight for your future before it's too late. It's that simple. So ask yourself, are you living or are you just waiting for the end? Because time isn't waiting for you, and you might not get another warning.